Okay.
Nicole, what a pleasure.
Man, what an opportunity to be here at Trail Days
Oh man, heck
under
yeah.
this blue sky, hanging out with so many great people, and an opportunity to dive into the latest through hiker. Flaco, tell
Yes.
us where you're from.
I'm originally from Massachusetts, but I've lived in North or South Carolina for 50, 60 years or so. So I pronounce my R's now. Yeah.
Attaboy.
So
There you
yeah.
go. Tell us a little bit about this gear you're wearing.
Well, so this shirt has a long story which we won't go all the way into, but I'm what's Miss Janet, a famous trail angel, has referred to me as a multiple offender because I've done the Appalachian Trail 4 times in its entirety, twice from Georgia to Maine and twice from Maine to Georgia, and then I'm also a triple crowner. I've done the Pacific Crest Trail and the Continental
Wow.
Divide Trail. I also did the Pinhoti Trail at the beginning of this year, and then I have passed the southern terminus of the Allegheny Trail 4 times now, and so I said, well, let's give that one a whirl too. So I just finished that one, as you well know. Yeah, 22nd of last month. So.
I had the privilege of communicating with you pre, during, and post.
Yes, indeed. And I appreciated every moment of it.
Well, thank you. Likewise.
Really a great pleasure to meet you in person. Yeah.
Thank you. Likewise. This guy, not only did he go out and hike, not only get on Facebook and encourage others, he was probably, after our recon project in March this year, one of the first to go through and send in those trail reports. As we know, nature still does her thing, right? Trails don't maintain themselves, but you were pivotal in helping us continue, to send out crews even after we worked in areas, which I'm sure you walked through. You got to see some of the teams that went out this year, and that was a new approach for us. So
I met Doug Wood.
Yep.
Yes, and then I saw his picture in one of the shelters where the one that right before White Silver Springs, I think it was, isn't that? Yeah.
Graham shelter.
It's on private land.
Shelter.
He made good friends with one of the members of the family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was cool. We spoke. He was working on a bridge right there at the end of a campground. Yeah.
So that was actually down in Watauga State Park.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And the water was still off.
Yeah. Hallelujah. But so for those that are listening to the channel, with somebody with so much experience, a myriad of trails, climates, terrains, tell us about, for maybe somebody who's new to the channel, is just coming in, is thinking about, we're getting a lot of attention here behind the tent.
For sure.
A lot of people coming over. Give maybe some viewers an opportunity to highlight some things about what you encountered on our trail.
Well, it was, it has a lot of similarities to the Appalachian Trail in the climate and environment. But the initial part of the trail, it was just interesting to be able to see more than just 7 miles of West Virginia, which is what you have on the Appalachian Trail. And starts at the Mason-Dixon line if you're coming south. And you get to really experience a lot of what West Virginia is all about. Just the glades, the farms, the pastoral scenery, and I didn't anticipate that quite as much, but I really felt like I was in true Appalachia, And then the history of the small towns that I went through, and even Laurel River Club Bed and Breakfast
LRC.
Right there in Jenison. That just when you go through these little towns that have maybe 5 or 6 buildings or something like that, and then you look at what it looked like in 1905 or 1890 or whatever, when the coal industry was going full blast, or when the timber industry was there, the railroad, all of that. And then just to see it now, it's just like, what?
Yeah.
So that was it. It was really interesting, almost like you could sense, especially in Cass, which they've tried to preserve that, I guess, to a large degree. But you just felt like you were back in time. And even if a lot of the structures weren't there because they were taken down or washed away by a flood or whatever, you just felt like if you stood there long enough and just closed your eyes, you could hear the people and sense all the activity. And that was I didn't anticipate that at all. The trail, it has some difficult parts, there's no question, but I think it's a easy length. so you can do it in a month pretty easily. Um, I went southbound, and I really think that that was a wise decision on my part because the views just kept getting better and better and better. Uh, I
And for those that don't know, our trail is intentionally a north to south trail. Of course, you can hike it south to north,
mhm.
but we put it out there and we advocate people hiking north to south. Exhibit A.
So I had a lot of fun. I'm not a big fan of road walks, but like you had told me initially, um, a lot of the road walks are not on paved roads. And so like I have all kinds of cool pictures of beautiful farms and
Yes.
glades and old buildings and you know the farm animals that were all going like, who in the world is this fool, and stuff like that. So yeah, I had a pretty good time.
Neat, neat. Well, I love the way that you dissected that. And if we've got a minute, let's take time and maybe explore that in a little bit more detail. Because people say all the time, oh my goodness, there's so much road walk. Oh my goodness. No, not really. And the big thing, everybody knows that song by John Denver. Take me home,
Country roads.
country roads. And so the country roads for our viewers out there, just like he said, that's what it was. Throw back 100 years, right? People walked dirt roads. And the essence of your mind being able to go to different places because you're so immersed in that nature. You're seeing horses, cows. You're seeing, I know for us up in Preston County, there's a lot. There's like a donkey farm. There's sheep.
Yep.
A lot of sheep. And, if you did it a couple months later, you'd be seeing all the fruit along the trail. Along our trail, there's peaches, there's apples, there's pears, there's wild nibbles everywhere.
I saw gazillions of ramps.
Oh, those things too, right? A true Appalachian delicacy.
Yes, indeed. It was rampant with ramps.
You were rampant. I'll never forget. I woke up the morning you sent me that one video.
Oh, yes, yes.
And like I said, he was reporting it. It was fantastic. I had my own personal recon. But we would talk on text, and the video the day you sent, they just said you were so happy. Like, you are so happy. You were literally between Durban and the High Falls, I believe, when you sent that. And the High Falls is kind of like a mini Niagara Falls. For those of you that are watching and listening, that we share part of that trail to the High Falls. And I don't know if you took a deviation or not,
I didn't, no.
That's okay. Through that, you're also encountering some old growth spruce, red spruce. And I think that you were maybe approaching part of that
was
dynamic.
A magical section.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has a different smell to it.
It has a different smell and a different feel, and it just those orderly trunks and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I just love that section. Yeah.
There was a gentleman who just didn't quite finish yet. I got a call or text from him the other day, and he even said to me it was otherworldly. I love this trail.
I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. Literally. So that was kind of section 2. That made my day, as we're an all volunteer organization. So we're putting so much time and energy in the off season to kind of attack. We know the cleanup's always there.
Sure.
We know the maintenance is always going to be there. So to kind of get ahead of that and have, like I said, you get out there and report the joy. That's why we get up and do it every day, right?
Yeah.
Like, pay it forward.
Well, that's why I do these trails.
Yeah.
Is to get those moments. They're moments of ecstasy. They're ecstatic moments when everything just lines up right. It doesn't have to be some magnificent view or something like that. It might just be the smell of the loam and the light coming through the trees. And it just it's just like, I just maintain an attitude of gratitude that I'm able to do these things. And
I love that.
And the fact that you guys put all this effort into making that possible for me to do is just really something special, and appreciate the heck.
We love the feedback. To hear it, we love the feedback. Anybody that wants to give us feedback, good, bad, or ugly, we're here to make it better. We're here to learn, but we really want to pay it forward. So let's dive in for a second now. We've walked through Cass, like you talked about. We're leaving Cass. We're going to enter the Seneca State Forest. And I don't know if you know, but the Seneca State Forest, West Virginia's oldest forest, turned 100 last year. And that was the very beginning of this entire trail, was in that forest with the Boy Scouts. So I don't know if you got to see any of the history or anything along that particular area, but those If you remember, there was a couple different shelters there that were built by the CCC. Another throwback, right?
Yeah.
Time's gone by. So, did you happen to stay in any of those shelters?
I did not. I stayed in, I think, 3 different shelters. 2 were on private land.
Okay.
Yeah. I stayed in the very last one before hooking up with the AT.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty new one.
That was the Turner shelter. Yep.
Yes, Turner shelter. And I stayed in, let's see, the very first shelter I stayed in was before I got the LRC bed and breakfast. It was
Canaan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Canaan. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a neat
Actually,
shelter.
yeah, it would have been
Mount
Canaan, I think.
Yeah.
With the stream right out in front.
Yeah, and it has the wooden walkway there and everything. So that was so I stayed in 3 shelters. I was a little bougie. I stayed in River House in Rollsburg.
Great guy. Did you meet Tim?
Oh yeah.
Wow,
yes.
right?
Yeah, he and then I ate a killer bacon cheeseburger and had more wonderful conversation at the Sidetracked Cafe.
Yep.
And so that was fun. I stayed with Marcia at the Laurel River Club bed and breakfast, and that was I took a 0 there.
Yeah.
And just really enjoyed that.
Caught up, did laundry.
Did laundry, had one of her delicious meals. Yes. Oh my goodness. So that was wonderful. And that's just another place where you have this beautiful home in the middle of nothing, but then you look at the picture of the place in whenever, early 1900s, and it was an entire complex of buildings and so on and so forth.
Yeah, a whole town.
Yeah, Jenningston.
And when you cut the last tree in your timber company,
see you later. Yeah.
That's the consequence.
And, going through Thomas and Davis. Yeah. Thomas was, they had a pretty good history along the rails and trails there with signage and so forth that, again, filled in a lot of those gaps.
Right.
That had you not seen it, you wouldn't know. You say, this is a little dinky town. Once again. Yeah,
and David, what I'm hearing you say also is you took time to read the signs. You took time to read the kiosks.
Well, I'd never really spent much time in West Virginia at all. 7 miles of it on the AT 4 times, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't really give you much flavor of what the state of West Virginia is like, And so it was a lot of, I love being in the deep wilderness, no question. That section that you wanted me to watch out for.
Yeah.
Although it was not maintained anytime recently, it was also one of the most wildly beautiful sections.
Yeah.
And so to have it, and I was the only person that had been through there,
Sure.
That's just a super cool feeling.
Right.
But to check out all these little towns along the way and learn their history to some extent, just get a picture into what life was like and stuff.
Sure. So tell me this, what did you think of when you were hiking the ridge and you all of a sudden looked down to the east side and you saw this huge telescope?
Well, I knew that I had seen the signs for the radio-free area, and I was like, what's the deal with that, And then it was interesting to me because the trail kind of circles.
Yes.
You get about 180 degrees of that tower, and you go around the side of it and everything. It was really cool to see. I thought they were listening in on me. I'm not sure. So.
Well, for those that are listening and watching, it is the world's largest steerable telescope.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Piece of work there, and that's not the only. There are other smaller telescopes there as well.
22, 23 others.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was kind of neat, for sure. There was a lot of cool stuff.
So for those that may be thinking about this, and we're promoting this, right? Obviously,
Sure.
We're talking about because we love it. Who are some of the users that can come out, and what can they learn maybe from a shakedown hike here in preparation for some of the other accolades on your?
I would say that would be a great idea. It's the length of the trail makes it much easier to plan. You don't have to take 6 months out of your life to do it. You can do it in a month.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about doing the Appalachian Trail at some future date, and you want to do a shakedown hike, this would be an excellent example of it's shorter, but it has a lot of similarities. You've got shelters here and there, and resupply is not all that difficult.
Right.
I think especially with the improvements that you guys have been making in the Far Out app and stuff, just planning where you can resupply and so forth, it's pretty easy to do. The only thing I did, I shopped everywhere else, but I sent myself a mail drop at LRC bed and breakfast, and that carried me through. And then I just shopped, and I was the very first hiker to take a reroute, in Marlinton. Yeah. So I shopped in Marlinton, and I shopped in did I shop in? Yeah, I shopped also in Lewisburg, right outside of White Sulphur Springs. So I stayed in a motel there in Lewisburg. Which is a little less expensive than the Greenbrier.
Yeah.
So
that isn't Greenbrier, as in like the Greenbrier for golfers. So
yeah, it was only
it's a high rent district.
$652 for a night there, hiker rate.
But yeah, there's other options like you talked about.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the things we're even hearing behind us, right here at Trail Days 2026, and there's hikers everywhere, y'all. It's just awesome vibe here. And a lot of people coming in not knowing anything about, like, never heard of it. How did you find out about it? You walked by it 4 times.
Well, I walked by it 3 times before, So and then I walked by it a 4th after. So 2 years ago, you guys had a booth here.
Yeah.
And I spoke at length with the individual that was here just about the trail.
Yeah.
And just sort of put it away for future reference.
Okay.
And then yes, I have seen that southern sign 3 times, and then a 4th time just last year.
Caught you on the 4th, but.
And I just had major surgery. I had kidney removed and a bladder cancer and so on and so forth. So I was looking at shorter trails to just do that wouldn't take as long.
Get back in it.
Get back into it. So I did the Pinhoti Trail right before I did this one, which is another 350 miler. So, but that one, I never hiked in Alabama before, and that connects to the Benton MacKay Trail, which I also have done that one.
We love the Pinhoti.
Yeah, it's comparable. It's similar in a lot of respects.
And Nathan and Kim are fantastic.
Oh yes, absolutely, yes. I didn't get to meet them. I met Monk, who shuttled me down to the. He picked me up in Birmingham bus station. What a lovely place.
So you're going to be hanging out on Trail Days for how long?
I'll be here today and tomorrow, and if Bob Peoples is doing another hardcore trail crew, then I'll stay Sunday and or Monday if they do that.
Awesome.
I've done like 8 of those, so.
Well, we thank you for your time. We thank you for your coming to our state.
Well, it was a wonderful experience. I'm glad I got to get a little more, experience with the state of West Virginia.
And now you can be an ambassador for us.
Family.
All family, right?
Well, I won't talk anything but good about the Allegheny Trail, and you are its greatest ambassador.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I felt like I already knew you before I met you, so I'm glad we got the opportunity to get that squared away.
Absolutely. So. Thank you for that compliment. So nice.
Oh well.
And for the listeners, thank you. Really appreciate that. For the listeners, for the viewers. We're just a small group of people who are passionate about nature, want to pay it forward, and really love other people. So you can come out and volunteer. You can come out and you can cook, you can keep the fire going, you can come out and do the hardcore labor, or you can come hike our trail. Follow us on the socials. We are looking to grow. So thank you for your time in this interview.
My pleasure, Nicole.
Y'all come see us.
Absolutely. Happy trails, everybody.
Bootprints in the dew, mile 1. Yellow blaze, brand new. Fog hangs low in a hemlock hush. First step's always a little rush. Allegheny Trail, carry me slow, up where the ridgeline cuts through the blue glow. County lines, creek stones, old fence rails, I'm stitching my heart to the Allegheny Trail. Rust red leaves torchlight flickers on a roadside hut, name carved small in a shelter beam, just a stranger's ghost and a shared old dream. Allegheny Trail, carry me slow, up where the ridgeline cuts through the blue glow. County lines, creek stones, old fence rails, I'm stitching my heart to the Allegheny Trail. Laurel and rhododendron, tunnel of shade, thunderheads build and I'm already laid. But the farther I go, the lighter this pack feels like these hills are giving me back. Allegheny Trail, carry me slow, up where the ridgeline cuts through the blue glow. County lines, creek stones, old fence rails, I'm stitching my heart to the Allegheny Trail. Yeah, I'm stitching my heart to the Allegheny Trail.